Howdy howdy. Been doing some work on the Neo Atlanta New Hashima building cube, and I just want to give an update. The record store is done and needs to have the figs swapped out for it, but I put in a snot brick here to be able to make some sort of a sign at some point. Still not sure what I want to do with these slopes that I put in here. Can put like a little sail thing there, or maybe like a little kiosk or garbage pail or something. There's opportunities for something. I just have to think of what I want to do. But the next thing was this column, which if you remember previously, I had tried to play something that ended up coming out a good bit farther, and it was just way too chunky for what I wanted. I think it was like a 5x6 or 4x5 profile, and this one's now 4x4. The base is asymmetric, which might bother some of you, but I'm fine with it. But I got these pieces off the Pebble, and I wanted to use them somehow. I like how this feels like it's kind of a ladder. The markets that I'm kind of going off of from Cyberpunk 2077, they had some just like giant pillars in the middle of them, kind of going up to not a crane, but just kind of like utility or something along those lines. So it's to me, it has that feel. I used the medium blue along with medium azure, kind of give a weathering effect. I could push it a little bit more. The problem is with the way this is built in, it's locked in. So the plates go all the way up and connect right under here. Then forcing this to work took a bit of effort, but we got it. I'm using 2 of those 3 long pins, one going this way to connect into this, and then one going this way to connect into here. Then that way it's kind of nicely locked in place. This isn't going anywhere. It can take weight of stuff above it pretty well. So that's how that's locked in. And if I want to modify this pillar, it's going to be, I have to push those out somehow and then get in there and lift this back up, and then take this apart to modify it. I'm fairly happy with how it is, and I've left myself a clip, and then there's a snot brick over here where I can make some adjustments. But the other side, I kind of put like these little industrial vents / cooling system there, so it could be whatever that's on the inside. I like the way it looked. Those ladder elements there. I had this from some set that I had parted out. I feel like it goes pretty well here, but I might swap this spear out for something else later. Not a big deal right now. Next up, I've been working on this. I originally had those turquoise, the dark teal windows in a 1, 2, 3, and I just didn't like the dark turquoise and the medium azure. They're too not tonal. The color value was too close to each other. I just didn't like the way it looked. So I went in, swapped out those, and then in order to strengthen this corner and give it a bit of interest, I kind of liked how this looked. I'm still considering it. I'm still considering how I want to do these. I have the idea of potentially putting in like some of those, swapping out some of these for some air conditioning units, so on and so forth. So you can see this goes a little past midway, so I wouldn't be able to do it on opposite sides. So that's still up in the air. I have the idea of maybe putting in some of those, the rail. It's like a plate with the rail on it, and that would stick out over this edge both ways to just kind of give it a closed-in feel. So that's where I'm leaning on that. Oh yes, I color swapped out all of these. If you remember, the curves were white, and I got the red ones in a while ago, but I finally put them in now, so that gives it a way more cohesive feel. I'm terminating this into here to just kind of, that was something I built long ago. It was one of the first things I put in was that pipe, and it's fine, but I want to give it a place to go and to end. I like how it's in the stairway though. Building a door, kind of an interesting door effect here using some chairs. So I'm put the snap bricks here so I can finish it out with an awning of some sort. Again, a couple windows here on that side. Around the corner, I put in one more of these window situations, but then I'm going to terminate and I'm going to have my perhaps the mod shop up here. I'm still undecided on that, if that'll even be a thing or not. The Ripper Dock. But something in this space with a different color brick than this. So this is kind of its own building that's all right there. It's kind of like the mezzanine entrance through that doorway. And then up here, there'll be whatever building is here will have the entrance on this floor. The elevator coming up to here visually as well. So yeah, that's pretty much everything so far. As for what's going in the windows, I took these and I threw down some acrylic paint. What people tend to use on their projects, as I asked in the groups, they'll use like either they'll heavily sand the windows, they will take like a sheet material and put it behind them, put paper behind it, or like poly folders. Lots of different options. So I'm going to try acrylic paint and just see how that goes. I kind of like how these turned out really dingy looking. I feel like that'll work nicely. The switch side to that is this part just looks really clean. So that's probably the reason why I want to take these things and just kind of put something a bit worse in the middle. So that is where all of that has been going. I think that's it for now. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I got rid of this thing too. Right here, it was the black and orange tile or cheese slopes thing. Every time I looked at it, it just felt off. It didn't feel right. I built this as part of a little thing up in my kids' city long ago, and I haven't used it for anything yet. But I wasn't sold on it. Every time I saw it there, I was just like, yeah, it's not working. So I took that off. Then I'm trying to build up the wall here to just kind of close the electronics and keep that shaft open for wires to go through. So that's part of the need for any of the city buildings to have a shaft at least that big in the middle so that wires above and below me can go through. And yeah, that's where we are. Thanks for watching.
Good morning. Happy 20th of July, Saturday. Got a cool order. Just want to show. Thought it was pretty neat. They just had some basic new parts. Nothing too crazy. They did get this one dome that has the white spots. And yes, I know my nails are not cracking, but the paint is coming off. The dome with the white spots, which I think was like a snow globe kind of thing from one of the CMFs. But this is an order of like stuff you don't expect to sell, but does. So I will happily take it. They got a lot of pieces from this Velociraptor dinosaur or something. But all of my connections like this, some like this. So definitely some kind of buildable fig situation, I believe. One wheel. Some of those palm leaves. This used cape that I've had for a while, which is listed as what it is, condition-wise. This dinosaur head. It doesn't sell often, but I'll take it. Good cop, bad cop. Got one of the Death Watch. Got this from the the Monster Fighters Vampire Castle thing, if I remember correctly. This thing, which I'm pretty sure is from a snail from a Scooby-Doo set. Some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle parts, like those legs, and I believe that one is from one of the villains. I don't think that's the Ninjago one. That's TNMT as well. This is just more of just basic parts. Although I think these tan ones are not rare, but just less common, perhaps. Maybe not. Yeah. So some cool stuff like the dinosaur head. I was like, it's never going to sell because if you look at the stats on it, it's not worth a lot, but it's not sold very often. It's from some random, I think adventurer set with the Johnny Thunder but I could be wrong. I don't remember the Oriental ones. Something. It's a dinosaur. It's not Oriental. Forget it. You can look it up. It's from something. It's not sold very often. Yeah, these are all. I think I listed all of these at like $1 or thereabouts because, I mean, and I had this all in the comments, but those teeth are worn. It's just there's like some scratching on the body, as you can see. But I listed it as that condition and priced it like way low. So I'm happy to sell it to someone who wants it. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, 23rd of July. I wasn't originally going to record a video. All I've been doing is adding in bunches of curved pieces. I went through my curved slope bin and it was pretty much full. And took out everything that was, big pieces, all of like these kind of things, holes, curves, whatever. And then I ran out of my little white buckets because I only had so many of them available. So there's definitely a lot more pieces in here. But I got the big stuff out, which made that a lot less full. And went ahead and just uploaded all of that, or at least put in Brickstore, all of that right now. So that's 231 items, 95 lots. It's nothing much. It's just a little bit I'm doing right for this morning. So I wasn't going to share all of that, but then as I was getting ready to fill out my spreadsheet with all of the information, it came across. We have now hit 500 orders on Bricklink. So thank you, everyone who has purchased, everyone who's given me help and advice and tips and tricks and everything along the way. I very much appreciate all of you. Just the love in the community, and it's very enjoyable, and I very much enjoy doing all of this as a nice hobby that pays for itself pretty much, so that I can both be self-sufficient but also be able to supply and pay for some of my own Lego, as I have here, and as I haven't shown upstairs, I'm building the Ninjago City Gardens and Ninjago City Market from display in our kids' playroom. Display/play. They like playing, especially with the City Markets. It's little cable car kind of thing. So, you can just see I haven't uploaded anything new in like 20 days. So it's been a while. Life's just been what it is. But we dropped by a little over 2,000 parts. We dropped by about 180 lots. So it's interesting that the amount that's sold in that time. But get these things priced. So I've shown it before, but my pricing, I just do the average sold, and then I adjust 25% up. Then lately, anything that is hit the shift button real quick. Lately, I'm doing anything that is under 10 cents. I am bumping to 10 cents. I'm not looking to be the cheapest in the market. I'm looking to, if someone's getting ordered pieces alongside other stuff, that every piece is going to be from now on 10 cents minimum. You may or may not think that's a good idea, but if I want to pick parts, I want to pick parts and make it worth my while and everyone else's while. And I don't think picking parts for 3 cents a piece, even if you're picking 50 of them, is really worth anyone's time. So everything's going to be, it was 5 cents. Now I'm bumping it to 10 cents, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so looks like, wow. Right, that one is way less expensive than that one. Let's see, light bluish gray. Okay, 5 sets. I guess they're all kind of older Star Wars. Plus like 1 Quinjet. Still kind of funny that there's 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. What does the other one have? It's the same number of sets. We want same number of sets, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. For whatever reason, this one is just way more. Let's see. This is between 4 to 5 on sold average, 5 to 7 on the available. So let's just bump that to $6. And then this one, yeah, it's just, I mean, the quantity is roughly the same, but people are paying on average $8. So if I bump it to, well, it's $9.96, we'll leave it there. That's pretty funny to me. So those 2 pieces are going to definitely carry this whole lot, but it's coming in at all of $55. Excuse me. Oh, Neo Atlanta. Value is 55. So then everyone has their own process. This is mine. I'll take the ones that are old. When I use the store, and then I'll copy the values from the document. And if there's anything that matches, obviously I'll consolidate that down. And then the stuff that is in the store, I'll make a marker that it's old, just meaning that it's old, an older part, not older part. It's existing already in the store. And old is easier to type than existing already in the store. So we're going to do mass upload, consolidate, new price. I always do new price because I want to keep up as I go. That'll be good. And I don't send out the notifications yet. Then I'll go shift. It's a lot of new lots for this. Paste, verify. Yeah, 86 new lots. Now I can send the wanted list. And we can just pop, close all those. And we refresh our store page. So 135,730. 135,730. And then 11,505. I gotta get another 93 lots to get back up to where I was. Like another 500 total to be able to crack up to 12,000 lots. Got some sets spread out, some new. The last of my Barnes and Noble purchases came in. Go from the underside, because then you don't see my address. Not like you want some address if you order from me, but you know. So you watch Jordan stab himself live on camera. Yeah, this is 3 of this one. It was on that Barnes and Noble sale. It had a really good part out. And it's got some cool parts. So I got 5 of them, so there's 2 more, I think, back in the whatever that area is called. And then I have 5 of the other mech, and then 5 of the Ninjago set over there. Yeah, things are nice. Gonna save everything I can, even if it means this drawer is mostly air. And I will just cover that up in case. So I will do what I did with the other ones and just dump all of the bags into here. And then that way I don't have a whole bunch of extra boxes sitting around. So there's the rest of the wish house down there. So there's 6 of those. There's 7 of the boat set to also part out. And then now I have 15 Ninjago sets to part out. So that's what, 7 plus 6 is 13 plus 15 is 28 sets to part out. Yeah. I had some other Ninjago sets. I don't remember where I put them. They're the little spinner ones, but they're less important. But yeah, anyhow, these are all good value part outs. I'll probably do the Ninjago ones first. So those poor little friends and wish sets will get pushed further and further back, but they'll be okay. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for 500 orders. I really appreciate all of you. Good morning, loves. I've been working on new Hashima a little bit last night, a little bit this morning. Main things are get the windows in. So I really like how the acrylic paint turned out. It's going to be closed in, so there's not going to be much light, if any. I might throw like one light in there, just kind of illuminate that a bit. We'll see. Then I put in this railing here. This one needs to go down a little bit more, which is why it's a little uneven, but I actually kind of like the slanty slopiness of it. But getting a feel for the railing, kind of set up. I didn't want to use like a big chunky thing up here. I'm just going to keep that for the stairs. Kind of just to show a mishmash of things that people have made and built into this area that I feel like shouldn't all be samesies. The other thing I've been working on is this Jenny's lantern setup. Nope, I hear my kid waking up. So I just recorded a video and then realized I hadn't hit record. I talked all about all sorts of things all around this. So we'll call that the trial run. Now you're going to get the parsed run because I don't want to spend all the time recording it again. Anyhow, I had plugged in the lights on camera, just hadn't hit record. But the lanterns are on the same flicker panel as the light that's down in here. So they all flicker on their own kind of. It's the same setting, but they all flicker on their own situation. This one is not rigged up. I left one burned out on purpose. I worked on, I can't remember if I talked about the railing or not. I think I talked about the railing in the clip that I actually recorded. But I need to get some medium blue. I want to make this a little bit more weathered and dingy. Just because the juxtaposition between these two, like I'm all for juxtaposition. There's a lot of that in Cyberpunk, but so close together, it's just a little bit much where this is graffiti and weathered, and then this is, sparkly with all of the medium azure. So I'm gonna put in some medium blue to help make that a little bit more weathered, kind of like what's going on with the column. There's just, here and there little bits. It just helps to give it more of a realistic feel rather than the shiny temple of whatever. I had talked about before I realized I wasn't recording, maybe putting a couple of these here where the wires aren't running, and then cover back there with a solid. And then Yeah, that's pretty much it. I need to figure out what color I need to make this side of the building, because this is going to be its own side. So I'll have like this mezzanine building that connects here, and then we'll have some other building situation on this side. And then the elevator needs to be built like here. So I'm going to put another, whatever door goes on this side of the building, it's going to go here, which will prevent this or create this interesting section here that is, like 2-3 studs below here. So I could see like a utility kind of chunk, kind of like what's going on with this. Ooh, you can hear that, pardon my tummy. So something here that kind of is maybe 4 by 6 studs, and then greeblies and stuff on the sides. The sign could be part of that for that. I could see it poking up a bit here. And then whatever is on top of there. Yeah. The minifigs in there are not supposed to be the ones that are staying, but I can't lock myself in too much further because this is my way in and it's all locked in right now because of this. Oh, my tummy is just really going at it, if you can hear it. But so I might want to get those figured out before I get too far in this. Sure, like how those lights turned out. Hey, I realize I have yet to upload a video recently, so I want to give one last clip before I close this one out. Although this might be too much, and then I'll get shuffled off to another video. Who knows? Anyhow, if you were following this or caring about this at all, the gift I gave to my partner is the Lego piano set. I got this one at the estate sale that I also got that Ninjago City set from, and so between the Ninjago City, the various architecture sets that I had from that, and some Star Wars ones, I forget what else, Brickheads, between all of that, I was able to keep this one and still make an overall profit from sales. So that was totally worth it to me. The seller charged me $140 for this, and it retails at $400. So I gave this to my wife, my partner, for our anniversary. We celebrated 14 years back on July 10th. So this was my gift to her. So I've mentioned before, she teaches piano. Sorry, her office is, it's more my mess that I've stuck here. But she teaches piano, and her office is not a mess. I have put a mess in here. I just want to make that quite clear. But yeah, she's been working on it. She'll come and walk in the treadmill, or she can see me and say hello. But this, it was fully built and in just great condition. So I reverse bagged it, just making sure things are fine. Nothing was broken or egregiously dirty as it went. And she has been building this. She goes. I've only had to not help her, but check a couple times, like some of the Technic stuff. Just making sure that it's helped her get stuff right and whatever. Technic is not her favorite of things to do. But this is just ridiculously detailed. If you've had a chance to look at it, look inside it and how it works, it's just a phenomenal build. They do an amazing job capturing just the realistic nature of the piano. The keys can move, the damper pedals, everything. They actually affect how the keys work. It has power functions to be able to make it all move, and the pedals can spin. So these kind of music box feel, these can turn and they make the pedals look like they're playing. Yeah, so just very, very cool set. She's only 5 bags in, I think. Yeah, 5 bags in out of 21, 26, something like that. So there's still a lot to go. Gotta build all the keys, which takes up like 4 or 5 bags anyways. And then, yeah, so the thing is pretty pretty big once it's all built. It'll be a perfect display for a studio. She'll be able to even open up and show how things are on a small scale, because not all the students can look into the piano. She doesn't necessarily want to open and close the piano all the time, etc. So that's super cool. I really like how that set is, how it was made, and just I think it'll be a great thing for her studio, and she's enjoying the build process. Yes, my nails painted. My brother and I saw Deadpool and Wolverine on the 27th for my birthday, and I know my lines are not great, especially if you get really close. They're really not great. But I got that blue that I've had before, and then just got some yellow, and so I've got my Wolverine nails. I have moved boxes now, but there was just crap everywhere, if you remember. So I broke down the Ninjago temple or whatever it is sets, put all the bags in there. I've moved the stuff that was here back there, and so then I also got from the back, there was the Wish house sets, so I had 6 of those. I broke those down and put them into one box instead of 2 big Amazon boxes. These were sitting right over here. Broke those down and put them in a box, and all these boxes are back in the closet, so I'll be able to pull them out when I'm ready and have an actual time to be able to. Why is this click? It's pulling up. Have actual time to be able to part those out. Then just grab the stickers from the Wish House, which I might just give to the kids. Some of these look like they'd work out decent for New Hashima. I have saved some other ones from the bus, the Ninjago Temple, and the Star Wars Tantive Hallway sets for New Hashima. A quick update on that. I got some Greebling work done. So now these windows are pretty well set and weathered the actual color. And then, put a bunch of stuff around the windows themselves. So I'm really liking that. I need to build the electronic / whatever utility thing here. And then I can finally bring this up, and I gotta bring this up, figure out how I want to do that, if that's supposed to visually go across the whole thing, which might work best. And then up from here will be the other part of the second floor on this. Got a light in here, and then left myself 2 studs, kind of not really more than that, just the 2 up here because those are blocked. They kind of give like a little sign or awning or something here, and then built up the infrastructure wall inside that helps to keep all the electronics separate from the shaft for the USB cable. And then also switched over to this one instead of the little 4-up. And I've got one of these goes to the light that's on that door over there. And I also have this one, which is a spinning one. So I was going to put that somewhere implemented with the utility section. Probably coming off the side here, so I actually have some lights on this side. So yeah, that's the movement there. And I added this little bit here to just bring it to the edge. So that's perfect. And I might put a little pillar here. We'll see. I might just have it connected to that and be done. But yeah, so just some updates on that. I can't remember where I landed on it before, so I don't want to talk too much on that. The thing is, these things plus a whole bunch of crap was all stacked up here. So I've consolidated the boxes down. These are the shipping boxes that I use, fairly regularly. And I put all of that paper, I kind of uncrumpled it and put it in this box because I use this still when I'm shipping stuff. And my voice is resonating. use that for shipping stuff, so I still want to keep that handy. This bucket was there. This is Lego that needs to be cleaned in some form or fashion, but some of the parts are, you're not going to run that through the washing machine or anything. And then there was a stack of bins and such. That tower, those, and then some other things that I moved. It gives a nice spot for the cart, at least for now. The cart moves, so I don't necessarily need it to have this parking spot. I would almost prefer like some sort of a shelf or cabinet situation. We'll see. It's funny, I'd forgotten about these lunch trays that I had gotten. I used for parting out, but then started using these things, which work a whole lot better for that kind of thing because they're white and they're not bumpy, and yeah, they have taller sides. But I got all these Speed Champions with one of those. It was the purchase that had, I don't remember, it was a whole bunch of sets and stuff, filled out the car. My kids played with them and kind of busted them a bit, but that was months ago. So now I want to go through and repair what I can, and then probably give them to the kids, because my youngest, my 6-year-old, collects. She's got 3 that she's built, so I was going to give these, let her have them if she wants them, and then maybe make a shelf up there for her for those. We'll see. These are knockoff. I can't remember if I've talked about these before. That's a real Batman head on that guy. But I was going to toss them, but I wanted to check on pricing because this has the St. Louis Cardinals. Like, they apparently had a Lego. It's not Lego, it's off-brand, but they apparently had minifigures made for them at some point. So I was going to look those up. I had checked them out, and I saw that they were not, rare or anything, but they're decently priced. So I was going to see that before I just tossed them. If they're, like $1 or $2 piece, I'm not going to worry about it. But if they're $5 or more each, who knows? Maybe I'll sell the set for 20 or 30. Sell what I have. That's about it for now. Figs. These figs are ready to be listed, so I need to actually, they're ready to be final checked for listing. I think some of them still have some cracked arms. When I was working on it, I didn't have my arm in, so I didn't go through those. Bunch of code scanning. The last set from the ones that had the fake stickers. That's the Gas and Go flyer. And yeah. Oh, more bins to fix after the last part out. Anyhow, I'm getting kind of rambly. Thank you for watching. I gotta see in the edit if this is going to actually finish out this video or if this will start the next one. But anyways, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time.